Okay. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going ready to do another installment on my YouTube video. We're going to start with Word, and then inside of Word, these are basically scriptures, typed into Word. It's actually the whole lesson because I want you to see the visual parts as well as to come and study with me. Come see how my rainbow works in my head. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys don't know what a rainbow is, you know, because everybody's brainwashed. So try to bear with me. I'm probably going to use some terminology that you are not familiar with on the level that I'm going to bring it on. But just remember, you have to deal with me because it's all about the word, and needless to say, a lot of people don't know the word. So we're going to start here with the word water and the word gall. Okay, these are two. I chose these two for a reason because some of the other lessons, uh, actually every lesson is pretty much going to deal with either a key, which is a key, or is a, or like a is a key. But right now we're just going to deal with this. You can, if you want to take a look at some of the other videos that I've done, you can take a look at it. It would pretty much be um, this style video. Okay. And there's something else I want to do here. Actually, you know what? We won't do that now anyways. Let me just make sure my record button is still there. Okay, it's still there. So I could stop it. Okay, so we're going to start with the waters and gall. Okay, now, first things first, we need to identify what is water. Because we have the planetary definition, which is what God calls the earth definition, or um, of the female definition, which is water, the aqua, the stuff we drink. So we are reading a book that is spirit. Now, so since the book is spirit, you need to know what the spiritual water is, because the whole book is written in spirit. Even if you decide if you choose to decide to read this book in what we call the female version, which is just means earth. Female just means earth, earth knowledge, earth level of knowledge. So if you think water is the liquid stuff, that is a earth level of knowledge. You are in a female transit right now. Not a woman, but female. There's a big difference. Okay, and then masculine, whether any kind of male entity or whatever, is of heaven. So we're going to deal with this not in the feminine, but the masculine today, which is going to be spirit, because you need the spiritual understanding. So it says, and he saith unto me, oh, I'm sorry, you could read whole Revelations. All of these are just the excerpts about water, okay? Water, and then you'll see some gall, and you'll see some wormwood. Um, actually, when we get to wormwood, it's all the same as galls, bitters, and poisons. But it says, and he said unto me, the waters, let's highlight this waters, because this is the word of the day. Like Pee Wee's Playhouse, man. This is the word of the day. Waters and gall. So, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, okay? So sawest is past tense, or the knowledge of. Because you saw it, but you still have the knowledge that you saw it and remember what you saw. Where the whore sitteth, where the whore sitteth are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. Okay? So when you read this word water, you really have to consider what my father's talking about. He is talking about peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. This is whenever, so if you see rain, or sea, or oceans, or river, Now you know what he's talking about when you run into these words. This is what I call gold because I'm giving it to you. I'm highlighting this in yellow because this is gold. This takes time to learn. Time is gold to the Father. All of this stuff that we call things down here is wrong, 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 as I just showed you with this water. Because remember, we're not reading a normal book, we are reading a spiritual book. So you need to put on the spiritual definitions of the words. So, and that way when you tell somebody else, oh yeah, the waters are people and multitudes and nations and tongues, somebody can't throw it back in your face because you wrote this down or you have this in your head because he said he's going to write it on your heart, which is in your head, which is your mind. It's the heart of your mind. The core of you is your heart. So your core personality is your heart personality. All right. So if you're an asshole, that's your core personality. These are things that we can upgrade you from, but we have to identify what you are first. Now, so let's continue. We identify what waters are. So now, oh, we're not going back there yet. Okay. So we're going to go to Rev 8 and 10, Revelations 8 and 10, and it says, and the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven. Okay. So, like I said, masculine is heavenly. So a star is a man. A man is an angel. Everybody that's walking around here is not a man or a woman. You think you are because you've been brainwashed that you are from the time that you've come to being on this plane. But the truth is the light, and the light is telling you that you are not a man or a woman. Okay, you're an entity that you need to discover what you are. If I talk to you, I can I'm almost guaranteeing I can tell you because I've identified the most of these things. Like you see what this is. So if waters is people, he ain't say man, right? So you have to go in and find out what a man is and find out what a woman is at the same time. What you pick, what name and terminology you pick to put on yourself is your judgment. That is something you need to realize. So if you want to be a man, you getting treated like a man. You want to be treated like a woman? You see how these beings treat women on this planet. Every religion treat women like crap. Why would you call yourself that? Because you don't know any better. And then when you try to take that title, because these beings down here love their titles, you guys will lose your mind, especially a female. I am a woman. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, shut up. You're not a woman. A woman. Never mind. I've done a woman lesson, I believe, and I need to do one that looks like this, but I will get to it. That way you can see what I see and read the way I read. Okay, and it says, "And the third angel sounded." Okay, so I kind of just gave you a brief overview of what an angel is. An angel is a man. Everybody standing upright just because you can talk, fart, go to the bathroom, and probably get a job or whatever, that does not make you a man. Okay? Okay. God had specific definitions for what he calls a man, and it is this right here. Because a man, it brings the message of God, of the Most High. All right? All right, and there fell a great star from the heavens. I know I keep reading it, but this is how I study. So you're studying with me? Study. All right, and he told you where he came from, the heavens. Now, and I told you what a man is, because man is masculine, which would be an angel, which would be a star. Okay? All right. Same thing. And you could read about this back in Genesis, and I think in Psalms it tells you about the star and the moon and the sun. But definitely back in Genesis before, or go back to when Joseph had the dream. The Old Testament Joseph had the dream about the stars bowing to him and stuff like that. And then his father Jacob told him, and they ended up selling them. Go back and read that story, and then you'll get an understanding of where I'm coming from. All right, and then it says, burning as if it were a lamp. Lamp is a very, very, very important word. Now, unless you read Proverbs 6 and 9, I believe it is. In Proverbs chapter 6, there's a verse that tells you for um, a lamp is a commandment and the law is light. So he just gave you the definition of a lamp. And to reprove is the way of life. Okay, so that's in Proverbs 6. You can read Proverbs 6 and that'll bring you up to speed. But the only reason why I mention it is because you need this definition right here, or you're going to be lost. So if this star is burning as if it were a lamp, okay, when you read the Bible, you become a messenger because you're going to get knowledge out of this Bible, whether it's correct or wrong. It's up to you. But if it was burning as a lamp, now he's telling you this is spiritual right here, because a lamp is a commandment. So that means God told you to do something, and you got this angel, whomever he may be, got up to take care of this problem, to become this commandment. So God could have told him to. Oh well, he's probably getting ready to tell us what he did. So he said, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers. Okay, now what is rivers? We just read what rivers is. So a third part of these rivers, which is our peoples, multitudes, and nations and tongues, had this star fall on them. A third part of them, and upon the fountains of water. Now, fountains of water are beings with this word, with this true word. Okay, and they would be teaching it. So you would become like a water fountain because you're giving out the water of life, but you're because you have it, so you're giving it out. Just like a regular earthly water fountain. If you was thirsty and you were at the park, you'd have to find a water fountain. The same thing, if you want the water of life because you're thirsty, you have to find a water fountain. Like they have, never mind, I'm not putting people's camps and things out here because some of them I approve of and most of them I don't. So I'm not even going to put names on Front Street because then that'll show me being a respected person and things like that. And knowledge is power. So I'm not going to do any of that. And the name of the star is called wormwood. Okay, wormwood is bitterness. It's a poison. It's actually like a poisonous flower, but either case is poison in the water. Okay, that's what you need to take from this word wormwood, that there's poison in the water. Okay, so he just told you what water was, and then he told you that a third of it is going to fall upon a third of it, and the third of it is going to be called wormwood. The name of the star is called wormwood. All right, because obviously, if it's a star, it's an angel. Okay, and up here he just told you it's an angel, and then down here he said the angel is called wormwood. So if the angel is called poison, that means God sent the world, a third of the world, poison to drink. All right, but Jesus in another place tell you once his spirit come on you, you can drink poison and you will not be poisoned. You will not die. But if you don't have this spirit, you're going to experience this wormwood because you're going to hear stuff and you're going to basically deny the truth. Like if you don't believe what I'm telling you, you're denying the truth. If you don't believe that God just said that this water is in Revelations is peoples, nations, multitudes, and tongues. But remember, he said his word don't change forever. So who changed the definition of this, which is peoples, multitudes, and nations, and tongues, to aqua? or the stuff that we put in our mouth. Who did that? All right? All Alright, so you really gotta think, who did that? If this is what it is, who did the other part? Keep you on your toes. Alright, and then it says, and the name of the star is called Wormwood. Remember, the star is an angel. He already told you that right here. An angel sounded, and there fell a great star. Okay. So the and the third part in the third part of the waters became wormwood. So a third of this water is going to be poisonous to the beings on this planet. All right. Now there's a catch 22 because there's a good thing and a bad thing. The knowledge of this world is already bad. So if you change from the world to spirit, you will become wormwood because you're speaking to them about something that they don't know. And most people been beat over the head with Jesus this, Jesus that, that they don't want to hear it no more. So you're poisonous to them. They're like, look, dude, I'm Catholic. Or look, dude, I'm Pentecostal. Or look, dude, I'm Baptist. Or this, that, and the third. Whatever they decide, because there's another scripture that said, let them lie in their filth. All right? But you got to understand how to do that. We have to understand how to do everything. So let's go ahead and highlight wormwood. And it says, and many died of the waters because they were made bitter. Now, I can give you an example of that, but I'm probably going to kill you and you're not going to want to watch the rest of this video. So, an example is, hang on. You know what? No. I want to pull up this YouTube post that I put. All right. You know what? Let's do it. I'm going to open. Oh boy. I never can find anything on this stupid computer. Nope. Nope, you don't need that. Um, oh, there it is right there. We're going to take a quick look at this. You can read this on your own time as well because it's on your screen. But the point I was making was this right here. If I was to, and beware, pause if you don't want to know about this because this knowledge is going to change your mind. And if your mind don't change, you're going to die. Literally. Like at some point in time, you'll be dead and I'll be living. Now, this where is it? Oh, here it is right here. This is the first understanding that we need to grab here. Is because this is an actual scripture from the Father. Come on. Come on, come on. Psalms down to here. That right there. And I'm going to read it for you. This is Psalms, and this is what I mean by you can die by not believing. It says, I will worship toward thy holy temple. Okay? Most of y'all don't even know where the holy temple is, blah, blah, blah. Y'all keep thinking it's somewhere physical on the planet. It is not. And when you pray to the east, you don't know which way is east. You don't know which way is west. You don't know which way is up and down, left and right. You don't know nothing is what I'm trying to tell you. And I'm about to prove it right now. And then it says, and praise thy name for thy loving kindness and for thy truth. This is what he does, right? So who is thy name? All right. For thou hast magnified thy word, thy word, above all thy names. Okay. Guess what we don't understand? What a word is. Actually, we live in a society like that. I like to say we're so smart, we're stupid. Because we're world smart, but we stupid to everything else because we think we know everything because we only know things of this place. Guess what? There's a whole lot of unknown unknowns out there that you don't know that I know. And then there's known knowns and known unknowns. Come on, man. Watch the Boondocks. Samuel L. put it on the table. Known knowns and all of that are known unknowns. So I'm getting ready to tell you something you don't know. Actually, I hope you read this whole thing and find out what you really don't know. So if the thy word above all thy names, how many names did my father come in? That's your first question to yourself. Your next, I'm just showing you this to open your eyes. Your next question to yourself is, if you are Israel, which is one of God's names, and I'm my father's word, which is this one. This is who I am. Okay? So if I'm this and you're one of my father's name, Israel, didn't it just say his word, which is this? This is one of his words right here. There's another word, Savior, Redeemer. Come on now. Put on your thinking caps. I'm only speaking to those of you who have been in this word for a very long time and still have very little understanding. If y'all on like stage 2 of understanding, and the master upgraded to me to like stage 90. So somebody, like I said, somebody better listen to me and get some understanding. Because if you're Israel, Jacob, Isaac, Abraham, any name, you could be any name that my father has left here. Because remember, he changed everyone's name at some point. So once he changed your name, you are that name. But I'm his word. So this is who I am. And read the rest because no, this way you know my power. This isn't rocket science what's going on here. I'm telling you to your face who I am. This is the word that I am. Okay? So I am my father's word. You have to learn to become a word. That's why Jesus. Read this and get some understanding. Now let me see if I can get back to this other one here. All right. Now we're gonna start. Let's continue on. Actually, um, and many men died. Actually, you know what? Since we took a break, and the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as if it were a lamp, as if it were a commandment. Let's put the right word there. Um, and fell, and it fell, and you know what? I'm not even going there. We stick into the waters. And it fell upon the third of the rivers, upon the fountains of water, and upon and the name of the star is called wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died. Now, hold up. This is important right here of the waters. I just told you who a man is. And I told you everybody's not a man, right? Who are men? Men are your leaders, your church leaders, your spiritual leaders, your any leader in the whole world that is putting rules on you. These beings down here, they are called men. Only the leaders, only the ones over you who set up statutes, orders, and judgments against you. And so on, because guess what? In your church, do they not set up these things? In your job, do they not set up these things? In your government, do they not set up these things? Glad you got this understanding. So everybody's not a man, but those beings are. And I'm only putting it on Front Street because you need to know who my father sent me to destroy. And look like these guys is going to be off the table in a while because I'm prepared and I'm powerful. which is another word. So how many words are there? Huh? Huh? And then this day, which is the third day, where he say he's going to wake us all up, there's plenty of words walking around. I met, you know what? I'm not going to tell y'all who's all out here because all these other men are just gateways to lead you to my Father's word. That's it. All right. All right. So it says, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. Why were they made bitter? Because I told you the truth, and the truth is hard to eat. And I just showed you truth right. Oh, hold on, let me see. It's this one. And I showed you truth right here. This say what it say right out of Psalms 38 verse 2. Says what it says. His word is I'm sorry. For thou hast magnified thy word above all names. That means the knowledge that the word have, the names ain't gonna have. Okay? Excuse me, because like I said, when you take on the role of a man, you get the judgment of a man. And I just showed you, Israel's a man, isn't he? Is Judah a man? Nope, Judah's a girl. Okay, Judah's a woman. So on and etc. The Levites, men. So what I'm saying to you is, if you have names of men, you need to listen to the one you need to listen to me, because I am nobody. And I'm not here to toot my own horn. I am nobody and I'm fed up. Okay? I'm tired of looking at this world every day. I get up, I'm gonna tell you how bad it is. I get up in the morning and I don't wanna do this no more. I don't wanna go to this man's job. I don't want to sit here. This is what I'd rather be doing, is teaching you guys what you need to know. But guess what? Nobody wants to know this. This is how I found myself, because nobody was the only one who wanted to know this. So now that nobody knows, nobody came to tell you the truth about these things. All right? So now, with that being said, up here, you got some understanding about this water. You got some understanding about poisonous waters and who these poisons in the waters is meant to kill. Let's go time travel. Time travel does not mean you're physically leaving this place. You are time traveling when you read the past. Put your mindset in the past, see what they were doing. Now, he tell you the truth in the New Testament so that you can see what they was doing wrong in the Old Testament. This isn't rocket science. This is pay attention to clues, to context clues. Oh, what happened? This is called pay attention to context clues. And this is stuff we all learned in school, man. And I hate to be the one to tell you, I was one of those jokers that used to just fill in the bubble. A, B, B, C, D, on like the state government test and things of that nature. I'm gonna tell them who they looking for. They looking for people who have understanding to break this Bible down the proper way, because they want to find you and get rid of you and put you in their high achieving society, so that you don't even waste time coming here, because you're going to be too busy with some Fortune 500 company, so on and etc. If it sounds like it's a lie, let it be a lie to you. If it sounds like it's the truth, let it be the truth to you, because man, y'all don't even know it. So shut up. I'm gonna keep it moving. So let's time travel. We're gonna time travel to Jeremiah 18:4. Why do we sit still? There's a lot going on in here. Go read it yourself. I'm not here for that. Assemble yourselves and let us enter into the defense of the city. Now, if you have to defend something, that means war was declared of some sort. Now, there's spiritual war, there's physical war, then there's the spiritual war is on your spirit, which would be somebody is trying to oppress you, and say, you better come to my church because you don't know this, or you better come to my church because these is people is a cult, or you better go to school or you ain't gonna find this good job over here. That's what he's referring to. So in order to defend the city, you need to have some understanding about these things so that you could defend it. Be like, oh no, the Most High said to do this, not to do that. You want us to do that, and I don't do what you want me to do. I do what the Most High wants me to do. So this is the defense we're talking about, that they wanted to assemble themselves for. All right, and let us be silent there, okay? Because they're going to go and they're going to be there, but they're going to shut up. All right, because silent is another one of my father's words. But y'all don't understand this. It's like I feel like I'm speaking to myself because I'm the only one that understand. But I'm hoping somebody will grasp some understanding. But like I said, we're not here for these words. But remember, it's written, you will live by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Every word. So, anyway, he's saying, let us be silent. So let's look at this. I'm not going to take you to the spirit of silent. Let's look at this in uh, the spirit that it's in. Let's be quiet. For the Lord our God hath put us to silence. How did he do that? Just the same way that I put a lot of jokers to silence with this. This is because you got to know how to be nobody. You can't just walk around and say, oh, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. You ain't wrong because your understanding of what nobody is not the true understanding of nobody. So you might as well hang that up because you'll have there's a lot of nobodies. And there's a lot of silence. There's a lot of I's. There's a lot of M's. There's a lot of we's. There's a lot of rejecteds. Whatever. Like I said, it's all about the word. He's showing you that the man is in error all over this book. So why would you be the man instead of the word? I don't get it, but that's your rocket science to figure out. Because I simplified mine. I'd rather be the word. The word is made lower, a little lower than the angels, but with more power. So I'll take mine gracefully. For the Lord our God hath put us to silence and given us waters of gall to drink, which in essence says the same exact thing that it did up here. Wormwood is poison. Waters of gall to drink. This means that because this is poisonous water or vinegary water, but they're still alive. You see what I'm saying? It's not going to kill them because they have a higher understanding now, but they can't really defend the city because the city doesn't know what they know, basically. So this would be like if I went to France. I don't know the ways of France. So I can't do nothing to try to help them out over in France. If you say war were declared or they need assistance, I don't know where to go. I don't know who to call. I don't know nothing about them. So I can't say nothing. Even though I have the absolute truth of the world, that particular place I'm coming to visit, I can't say nothing to because I'm not supposed to kill. Okay? And like I said, never mind. All right, so because we have sinned against the Lord. All right, now this is the breakdown of what he's saying here. They sinned against the Lord. This is why they're in the predicament that they're in. Because once you find out the truth after you have sinned, you get ready to go back on everything you said from that time until you found out the absolute truth. So you a liar. You got gall waters in you. All right? You got your waters that God giving you turned to gall because it's the truth, and it turned the waters to gall of that city because they don't have the Most High understanding. And when I say the Most High, I mean there's levels of understanding. You have Level negative, you have negative levels of understanding and positives, leading from 0 to uh you know what? No, because these is all answers. Y'all don't know that 7 is not 7. You don't know 1 is not 1. 2 is not 2. 3 is not 3. 4 is not 4. 5 is not 5. 6 is not 6. 7 is not 7. You don't know this, so uh, this video, I don't even know if I'm gonna post. If I posted it, you're lucky to hear it, because it just seems like I'm batting zero because it's too much information to explain for every little thing. But we have sinned against the Lord. So this is why they ended up with the gall waters, because they sinned against the Lord. So let me speak on some sin against the Lord. You could go to church on Sunday. You don't gotta go to church on the Sabbath. Okay, fine. You don't have to do none of those holy days. Okay, that's another lie. You are a man. Everybody walking up that can grow facial hair, upright growing facial hair, is a man. These is all lies. All lies. So with that truth, like I just gave you truth when I told you what a man and a woman was. Actually, I didn't tell you what they were because it's going to lead you to die, but I did tell you you're not that. You're not that if you're sitting here trying to learn. You can't be a man because a man is a teacher. All right? A man is one who puts rules and enforcements on people. Everybody on this planet is not a man. Most of them ain't even. Most of the what you would call a female is more men than what you would call a man with facial hair. So that right there should tell you something, because they rule the house by themselves while the man just went and stepped off, or what you call a man just stepped off, and they leave them to raise 10 to 20 kids by themselves. So we're gonna leave that there, and we're gonna come on down here. And like I said, that was because they sinned against the Lord. So now we're going to time travel a little forward in Jeremiah, and then we're going to time travel back some more, back here. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, because you're a man right here, Israel, Israel. Behold, I will feed them. Now, when God talking, he talking. So he said, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them waters of gall to drink. I drank my gall. I understand it. Now, in Genesis, he tell you who them is. He made he, him, and they, them. So he said, I will feed them. Who is he talking about? Who's them? Okay? I'm just trying to tell you to turn the light on in your head. Because he said every word. Every word. And then he said, even this people. Who's even? Who's this people? This identification. Edification through identification. With wormwood, which is poison, and give them waters of galls, which is vinegar water, bitter water, stuff that they're not going to want to drink. Because they had a lack of discipline. They don't care about the truth. They care about getting a little knowledge, Jim running out in the street telling you something, and they don't have a full understanding themselves. So beware of men, okay? Of anybody who say they come in a man's name. I come in the word, okay? He that hath built, he hath built against me and compassed me with gall and travail. Okay, so we know what waters are again up here. So once you get gall, this is what I was talking about, the same thing from down here, where he gave them water to drink because they sinned against the Lord. These people and multitudes and nations and tongues are going to become a problem because you lied to them. It's saying in Revelations that that all the churches and stuff is going to be, the people, the earth is going to turn against them. The seas is going to try to wash these niggas away, which is again waters. Sea is water. I don't care if it's salt in it or not. It's water. You see what I'm saying? Ocean, same thing. Salt in it or not. Water is this. He's just trying to give you understanding. This is all you need to understand is about the waters today. All the other stuff is just bonus. All right. Um, Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will feed them, even this people. Because he said them, so he's not talking about them people, because he said them, and then he said even this people. All right, so who's them? Go to Genesis. He named he, him, and they, them. And then even this people is obviously these people. So this is even. Now, with wormwood and give them waters of gall to drink. All right. And now we're going to go back down to Lamentations. He hath built against me and compassed me, compassed me with gall and travail. The gall is the waters; they're bitter, and the travail is the people because the waters is the people. So if you have gall people, bitter people around you, you're gonna have a lot of travail. All right. So we're gonna highlight. See, you know what? And he did it with me. But that's a different story. In these words, it's italicized for a reason. I didn't do this. There are entities that know what's going on down here that's trying to give you a foothold. But since I am who I am, I could just give it to you raw if I wanted to, but everybody be dead. I wouldn't have any fruit to bear because I killed you all. All right. So now we're going to time travel again. Exodus 7:24, and it says, "And the Egyptians dig around about the river for water." But remember, this is the time where the water was turned to blood. So they dig around the river for water to drink. And I just told you what water is. Now, this is why Jesus said, "Be healed according to your faith," because I'm going to say the same thing. Be healed according to your faith in all of this. If you believe, you get ready to get on a new path of righteousness and salvation, the true salvation. This other stuff is just a sham. It's fake. For they could not drink of the water of the river. Okay? So they could not drink of the... Hot. I'm going to highlight it. I don't care if you don't know what it is. And 7 days were fulfilled. Now, 7... I just told y'all these numbers and stuff don't mean what you think they mean. I also... you know what? I'm not even going to get that one out. You know what? Let's... And 7 days were fulfilled. All right. 7 means complete. All right. Now, the number 7 don't mean complete. It's the 7th position. I'm trying to explain this in a really... Because you're not going to know this because you didn't read the Emerald Tablets. You didn't read the books of Enoch. You didn't read all the books of Jasher and all of these books that these beings and entities have taken out of your hands that are now widely available. You choose not to read it at all. And I choose not to read it at all. Because nobody reads it. Nobody could not read it all. Okay? Nobody did not read it all. Okay? So, reason why I say it like that is because you need to know who this guy is. Not as an entity, as well. He was another word. Who bought this word? So all I'm trying to say. Um, and 7 means complete, but if you're complete, you're a 9. How about that? I'll put it to you like that. If you complete, you're a 9. Because like I said, you guys didn't read this stuff, and I spent a lot of time reading it. And it allowed me to put my brain back together. God puts it back together because you stop listening to people around here telling you lies. He puts your brain back together, literally, so that you can understand him, because they taught us not to be able to understand him at all. We live in Spookyville when it's not spooky. The truth is simple. You learn with fire. If this is water, can you imagine what fire is? I'll tell you. I'll give you a hint. It's the opposite. Okay. Okay, because it's written in a place where he made his angels fire and brimstone. Opposite. That's it. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. So if this is water, what is fire? Then what is the lake of fire? Uh-oh. I'm stepping on toes. Alright. Uh and 7 days were fulfilled. Oh, okay. See, this is saying so much that I can't really get into. After that, the Lord had smitten the rivers. Okay? So this was after God, the Lord, smote the rivers. Then they were fulfilled. Okay? Then the 7 days were fulfilled. Because the rivers had to be turned to blood. Once you turn the river to blood, you got Israel. I'ma just keep it gully. You ended up with Israel after the rivers in Egypt turned into blood. Because you ended up with the tribes. Their tribes. That blood is history of the world. Your history on the earth. Leading you to what spirit? Which was Israel. Was your spirit. That was your man. It was Israel. Alright? So he's your blood on this earth is Israel. Okay? Second Kings. I think we're about done. 2 Kings 3:20. And it came to pass in the morning. What is the morning? Who was the morning? This is what I'm saying. Do you know how many words have come? How do we have language if the words didn't come? Okay? Uh, when the meat offering was offered, that every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. That. So what was the meat in their mind? I don't even want to get into it. Behold, there comes water by the way of Edom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Behold, there comes water by the way of Edom. And the country was filled with water. Where'd they come from? Edom. Edom. Alright? And they were filled with water. And that water was filled with what? Okay. Now, Proverbs 5:3. We still in time travel mode. Okay. For the lips of a strange woman, I had to put the whole thing because it was just. Remember Just because you a female and you got that thing, something between your legs that people use to mark you as a female, that is not what you are. You are not a woman. So understand this. Not coming from this book, which they use to name you woman. Irony, but that's not what you are. Because if you decide to stay that, guess what? You're going to be oppressed in some male's house. Someone who calls himself a man is going to be oppressing you and making you do this, making you do that, and making you feel like you're beneath them when you're not. Because they're not a man either. And you have not learned enough to tell them that. So this is your era. And that's your punishment, actually, to be under a man because you didn't identify yourself. That's your punishment. Everybody's, because we all listen to what we learned in school, which was taught by demons. We live in the world, this world is literally hell. And we live around demons. Do you know why they say that they found bases and stuff of alien civilizations on the moon? This is facts. And then they found they actually have Russia has footage of the UFOs blowing up their space satellites. This is because we're in jail. If you're in jail, isn't there a guard put outside to make sure you're not leaving? Right? It's not just the doors, because if it was just the doors, eventually we'll get off the doors. As we have. We have been able to send things past the door. The door is actually what we call the atmosphere. Okay? I'm just trying to put it in perspective. You can't freely just jump and leave this planet, can you? You can't freely even jump in a ship and leave this planet, can you? There's a reason why. This is hell, and you're stuck in it. You can't leave hell. You can't leave jail. If you were outside, if you were trying to leave jail, guess what? There's going to be a force there to stop you. And we have built-in forces that automatically keep us here anyway, because we can't take what, or they lie. You know what? I can't even tell you that, because these jokers lie to us about so much stuff. I can't believe it at face value, even if I try. But anyway, if you're in jail, and we're in a galactic jail because we did something wrong. What do you go to jail for? Doing something wrong. How come every entity can fly around freely? Our government literally has. Oh, dude, I'm telling you the truth. They made documentaries on it the whole nine, because the government finally released the information. But it's been so long that and so many other big things are going on with the economy and things like that, presidentials and just that and the thirds, that we're not paying attention to it. There's a book called Project Blue Planet. They made a whole series. It's on Netflix, the whole nine, about and they made a documentary on it about this Project Blue Planet, the cooperation with these entities and things from the other stars. Look, the end game is this. If one of us don't figure out how to read this book properly, they blow up this place. Every time. Every time. That's why the Lord's word rules forever, because once you start over, you're starting from scratch with the word. This is the same book all over again. You're starting over. Alright? They're going to blow it up. They're going to put it down here. They're going to set something up. And then they're going to teach a new Adam, dude. Like, this is what has been happening. They keep blowing this place up. Look at the crust. Every 26,000 years or so, this place is torn to bits and blown up. Why? Because we haven't figured out what we're supposed to be doing down here yet. Alright? So, I mean, I'm just trying to keep it gully, keep it in perspective. We need to get on the ball. And I'm getting ready to show you that most people don't know what they're talking about. So, we're going to read Proverbs 5 and 3 again. For the lips of a strange woman, which is a church, a school, some type of body of institution, a job, where you can train, any type of place where training, because you're being born when you come into training. He even tell you being born again into the Spirit of God when you come into His God training class. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So these are things that make you a woman. So what happened to his virgin birth? I'm a virgin birth because I didn't sit in no man's church to teach me this. What I'm teaching you, nobody can teach me. Okay? Nobody taught me. My father's word taught me. Okay? So, with that being said, it says her mouth is smoother than oil. Oil is another word. This is part of God's word. This is oil is the word of God. Because oil, what you do with oil? Start a fire. A fire is a law. A light is the law. So if something is burning on fire, isn't that some kind of law? So the oil is the potential of laws, statutes, and judgments that aren't on fire yet. All right, but this is still the Lord's oil. For if He wants to kindle a fire with it, then He will do that. This is all the, oh man, this false alchemies and things like that. This is where it all came from, because it is as in heaven, so on earth. But we keep trying to go so on earth, so in heaven. It don't work that way. So now it says, but her end is bitter as wormwood. Now I just told you, woman is a church, some type of institution, um, corporation, government, law. These is woman. These is woman. Church, the Catholic Church. Israel could even be a woman at times because it depends on what knowledge you're using. This is all things taught from the earth is womanly. All right. Um, but her end is bitter as wormwood, and that goes back up to what Jeremiah and them was just saying, because they were in Judah, I believe, when that happened. Hold on. All right, they're still in Israel. They're in Israel, but I don't know which. I don't remember which tribe they were from. That they were going to, which is but the whole point of it is they were in woman form when you have to be in a masculine man form to understand these things. All right. So again with the wormwood, and then it says sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet goeth down to death. Okay. See, there's another thing, because there's not a such thing as a negative, and there's not such thing as a positive. There just is, and your use of it is what determines the characteristic of it, if that makes any sense. Because a, a female is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's a woman. This is your mother. Because without your mother, you ain't getting nowhere. So, sharp as a two-edged sword. Now, why is this sword sharp and it's two-edged? Because if you come as a woman, you're not going to see it the same way as a male does. And again, if you think I'm talking because you have boobs and whatever, that don't make you a woman. It don't make you a female either. Not in this book. You could try that in some other book, in some other place, but don't use my father's word for that nonsense, because that's not what you are. What time I got here? We getting close here. All right. It says, her feet go down to the death, to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Now her steps taking hold on hell. Now this, let me tell you about a female church. First one, Catholic. It took hold on hell. Why? Because she does. She walks around with this metal that she calls gold, a bunch of statues, trees, Christmas, all kinds of things. This is a dirty ass woman, yo. She's a slut. She's a hoe. And that is what it is. So if you dealing with the hoe or whorish woman, and then you try to come talk to one of the males, it's a two-edged sword because the male going to tell you the truth. What I've been telling you about a male and a female is the truth. A woman and a man is the truth. Wormwood, oil, waters, these is all true. So I'm a masculine entity, okay? And I already told you my name, so good luck. All right, or one of my many names. Um, so the whole reason for doing this whole thing is this, John. And I just this was because I was watching those starting at a TV and on, and they had they having a debate about this, but in brother Ema, uh, my bad, I ain't even mean to be calling brothers out. That's how my memory works. Like once I think about it, it just recalls. All right, but anyway, they used this scripture, but that brother did not know what this is. Apparently, and the brother who's probably defending this may or may not know what this is. So I'm going to put it on the front table. This is at the crucifixion. But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side. Okay, his is a word of my father. And so it's his side. Now, we know Jesus was the word, right? What word was Jesus? Savior. His side. Savior's side, okay? So this is what he's talking about. The Savior's side. Now, when you read in Ezekiel and all of that, he tell you about laying on this side and laying on that side. These is all levels of information. Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. This is levels of information. Names are on my right hand. Words are on my left hand. Just so you know, I have more words than I do names. Okay? So this kingdom can be changed in the twinkling of an eye, man. He wasn't lying. It's all about knowledge and your understanding. Your rainbow bridge is not built right if you can't understand anything that I'm telling you here. And even if you don't understand it, put it on the side and go watch some other brother's sermons and then come back to this, because this is most high knowledge. This is what's going to get you killed. Is all you got to do is not believe what I'm telling you. You'll die eventually. It ain't just like Adam lived 900 and something years when the Lord said you will die this day. 1,000 years is one day. So you will die this day. It is what it is. You don't know how to live, and nobody knows how to live, and nobody's trying to show you how to save yourself. All right. So he pierced his side. And forth came out there. I'm sorry. Forthwith came out their blood and water. Now, rocket science. Your blood and your water is in the same place. Especially if he poking you in your side, right? I told you what water was up here. Who believes the report? Now, what was the blood? The history of that got you to your spirit. Your earth history is blood that got you to your spiritual earth, which is Israel. Now, the children of Israel know all about this because they will pull quick, fast, in a hurry, pull out their 12 tribe chart. If they are pulling that out, then they understand clearly, mincing as they minstrel around the whole world. Oh, you're from the tribe of Asher. You're Gad. Blah, blah, blah. This is what he's talking about when he says you walk about mincing. That's you. He's talking about you. His words don't do that. That's a good one. His words do not do what you do. Okay? And I'm not talking about these words on the page. If I'm nobody, you're going to run into this is me. All right? But I could be anybody too. I could be it. I could be Sag. I could be father. I could be son. I could be my, so on, etc. These are my father's words. So I could be which one I want to be. But in this day, like he said, no man will know. I could post this on the internet and no man still will know what I'm talking about. And I just told you, everybody's not a man. So you that believe me will get higher than a man. Because a man is only a gateway. He's a doorway. He's a messenger. A word is a friend. Because if I could send my word with you and trust you with my word, that you ain't gonna mess it up, you ain't gonna tear it up, you ain't gonna misuse it, then you become more than a friend to me. You become more than a servant, because a man is a servant and a messenger. The man's servant in servitude is messages. His inheritance is the man's inheritance is his church. That's what God gave him. So it's okay for him to have that. Unless he's not teaching it right, then nobody gonna show up and stop this. All right? Because it has to be done in righteousness and peace. And that's through the Savior, Melchizedek. Melchizedek was righteousness and peace. He was two words. But y'all can't hear me though. So, like I said, understand what this is. And then you can understand his crucifixion more. Understand what blood and water is. And you'll understand. Because I'm here to remove the scales from your eyes because you're blind, deaf, and dumb. And that way, you will be healed. This should heal somebody, I hope. Have a good day. In righteousness and peace. I am nobody.